welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another match preview for Newcastle United's Boxing Day fixture down at the King Power Stadium against Leicester City, and a certain midfielder potentially we're going to talk about in a minute. We've all been talking about on another angle, obviously for our transfer pot. But we're going to have a little look at the match preview in a second, just see how we're going to line up, little thoughts about the game, and obviously predict what we think the result is going to be. So just before we do a little bit of housekeeping, if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe button. We'd love you to come and join us at Evermore. All free content this week. Have the 2 weekly shows, Mondays and Wednesdays, pop-up videos just like previews and reviews, and rumour has it videos. So loads of room for you. Smash that button. We're on 2,170 subscribers, I think, at the minute. So we're really close to that 2,200. It's been an unbelievable first year as Evermore. We've got loads more content to come. So keep smashing that button and come and join us. So let's get stuck into the game then. Obviously, Newcastle United is back. This World Cup is done. Thank God for that. I was sick of it, but to be fair, the final was brilliant, but I was sick of the competition. Stupid time to have a World Cup, but the domestic football is back. Newcastle are back with a win. We obviously beat Bournemouth in the Cup midweek, bit of a shit game, but another win. We're through to the quarterfinals of the Cup, and we return to Premier League action, where we are still sitting in third position. If people forget about that, 2 points behind Manchester City. That's how good we have been in the first half of this season. We want to get back to winning ways. We want to keep this win going. This is another chance to do it. How are we going to line up? Who's going to get that win for us? This is how I think we're going to line up. Just looking based on the fact of the Bournemouth game as well. Nick Pope in the goal, absolutely that back five, solid back five that's done us so well. I think Byrne will still be there at left back. You got Sven Botman. I mean, what a player this guy is. Rolls-Royce doesn't even cover him at the minute. He's possibly the best centre back I've seen coming to the league probably since Nemanja Vidic when he came into Manchester United. He's absolutely superb, and I think he's going to have Leicester in his pocket. He's going to have Vardy in his pocket and everybody else today, but more on that in a second. Got Fabian Schär alongside him, and obviously Trippier, the captain, the set-piece specialist. Loads of stuff goes through Trippier. He's got to play. Midfield three, excuse me, I think we're going to have that three going on. Energy, skill, quality, pace. I think Willock had a good game against Leicester. Obviously at home last season, he set up Bruno's brilliant goal. Joe Linton's got that energy. Guimaraes just looked class when he come in again against Bournemouth. Pace and the ball, kind of just control, vision, ability. You know, this lad is unbelievable. Yes, they've got Yuri Tillemans, who's a very dangerous player, and I like Yuri Tillemans, I really, really do. But they'll be worried about Bruno in the middle. There's no doubt about that, because he's one of the best players in the league, hands down. In terms of the front three, it was great to see Wilson come back looking sharp against Bournemouth. Got a goal, should have stood. Miguel Almiron has obviously been on fire the first half of the season, and I actually think that Max will get a start after his little cameo against Bournemouth, because he looked hungry, he looked up for it, and yeah, I think that's the team that will line up at the King Power Stadium come 3 o'clock on Boxing Day. So I mean, Leicester are no mugs at the minute. You know, the start of the season really poor. They managed to pull it back, largely down to the form of certain James Maddison. They're currently sitting 13th in the league. They're on about 17 points against our 30. So we had a great start there, an iffy start, but they have pulled themselves back round. So that this won't be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. Vardy is not the Vardy that he used to be. He can still have moments when he's dangerous, but I think against that back five, against the likes of Sven Botman and Schär, Tripp snipping in, Big Byrne as well, I don't think we'll have a lot of trouble from Vardy. I'm more concerned about potentially the likes of, Harvey Barnes making the runs, maybe even if Jose Perez plays. He scored in midweek. I'm not sure he will, because he doesn't get a lot of game time. Maddison is their danger man. He is recovering from a hamstring injury, I believe. Just looking at some of the team news, he's recovering from a hamstring injury, so I'm not sure whether he will start. He might actually start on the bench, to be fair, but he is such a dangerous player, and I'm pretty sure that our fans will be singing his name and trying to court him over to the black and white side if they possibly can. But I think Leicester in decent form. They have picked up. They finished for the World Cup break quite well. Managed to pull himself right out of the mire. So this won't be an easy game, but this is Newcastle United. Not sound like Gary Neville. This is Newcastle United, and we are a totally different animal to the one that was there last season. We owe these fuckers one. They beat us 4-0 last season at the King Power in a dreadful game, one of the worst we've seen since Howe and the new owners came in. Howe will remember that, no doubt in my mind, that he will say that to the players before they go out without a shadow of a doubt. So let's have a little look at the head-to-heads and the stats, and then we'll obviously give you our prediction. So in terms of the last head-to-heads, 30 Premier League games, it's quite tight. You know, it's just in our favour. 13 wins for us, 12 for Leicester, 36 goals for us, 48 for Leicester. So there is goals in these games. They're not shitty 0-0 games, no doubt about that. 7 clean sheets for us and 12 for Leicester. You can see in the form guide as well that Leicester have picked up. You can see, obviously, in their last 5 games, They've only had that 1-0 defeat, and they've won every other game. We are unbeaten, obviously, in our last 5, hence why we sit 3rd in the league and they sit 13th. So the last 5 fixtures between us, again, it's more heavily weighted in Leicester's favour, but this has been, if you think about the last couple of seasons, Newcastle United off the rails, Steve Bruce and obviously, Rafa losing walking on the job, and interim managers and all sorts of stuff. We really have struggled as a team, as a squad in these kind of games, but I don't think we will on this occasion. I think we're a totally different animal to the way we were before. And I think in terms of this fixture, I'm feeling quite confident about this fixture, which I don't normally do on Boxing Day fixtures. So looking at predicted scores, I can see us winning this. It'll be a tight one. I think it'll be 2-1 to Newcastle. I think the bandwagon will keep rolling. I don't think Maddison's fit enough to start, so I think he'll come on and influence the game maybe later on, and by that point we might be in cruise control. We might have already got what we need to get that win. We need a big performance from Maxi. There's no doubt about that. He looked good when he come on against Bournemouth. He looked hungry. He looked lively, dropping the shoulder, nipping inside, taking men out. We need him to stand up in a game like this. And to be fair, the pressure might be on Maxi. We've said this before. We're getting linked to so many creative players, Maddison being one in particular. Maxi will want to show that he's a better player. He'll want to show that he's the man, should be in this team as the creative influence. And I really hope he steps up. And I really hope he does that in a game like this, because we do need him in games like this to obviously get us that win. In terms of injuries, we haven't got a great deal of injuries to worry about, really. The lads all come back from the World Cup, I think, in pretty good shape. Obviously, Alexander Isak is missing, which is a massive blow. We talked about it on Evermore on Wednesday. We're hoping to see Isak back, I think, probably for the Leeds game, New Year's Eve. I think he might be on the bench potentially for that one. But we want him back fit. As long as Callum Wilson is fit and in good condition and scoring goals, the Isak thing isn't as big of an issue, maybe, as it could be. Anything happens to Callum Wilson, we're in big trouble. So we really hope that Isak comes back, gets fit, gets sharp, and then we've got options up there as well. We want Miggy to continue that form. In terms of Shelvey's back. He's had a couple of pre-season games. He's not the Shelvey that he used to be. I think he is lacking a little bit in pace. Longstaff could easily come into that starting 11 that I put there, because he's got that energy, he's got that endeavour. I think he's looked really good in the pre-season games. Longstaff got such an engine on him, and potentially we might deploy him to maybe try and control the runs of Harvey Barnes or something like that. But I still think we'll go with that 11 that I've chosen. And for me, I'm predicting a 2-1 win to Newcastle United on Boxing Day. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. And as I mentioned there, if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe button. We'd love you to come and join us. Loads of room for you here at Evermore. Got a cracky little community of people here. And everybody who watches the channel, everybody who's subscribed, me and the rest of the lads want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. We hope you have a fantastic time with your families and your nearest and dearest, and if you haven't got that option, reach out and try and contact somebody over the festive period, because it can be quite lonely if you haven't got that. But have a great holiday period, everybody. We'll be back with a post-match for Leicester, hopefully, with my prediction being right. So this is Chris signing off. Let's keep supporting that team of United. Merry Christmas, and we'll catch you later.